Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ilham. In this occasion, I would like to present my proposal, improving student speaking skill in the topic of asking and giving opinion using problem-based learning. Chapter 1, Introduction, Background of Research. A synthesis of the current study explained that speaking is a skill used to express and convey ideas as a means of interaction. Since the function seems like a representative of knowledge, most of students habitually reflect their accomplishment in English based on their speaking proficiency. Based on the reflection of teaching practice, there are several problems that researchers found in learning activities of speaking skill. The first one is engagement, especially in cognitive engagement, learning achievement, and the problem is law thinking skill. To address the problem, the application of problem-based learning is proposed to improve student learning outcomes of speaking skill. By having this model of learning, there is a possibility to increase student activity in learning to solve an engagement problem. To foster student creativity in working together, it might influence learning achievement, and to foster student ability to a problem. It's a quite high-order thinking skill. The aim of this study is to improve student learning outcomes of speaking skill. Based on the background, the formulation of research questions of this study are as follows. Could the problem-based learning improve the student speaking skill on the topic of asking for and giving opinions? And what are student responses to problem-based learning in improving their speaking skill? Then, objective of research. The objectives of this current study are as follows. To investigate whether problem-based learning can improve the student speaking skill among the 11th grade student of MAN 1 Banjarmasin, and to investigate the student responses about problem-based learning in improving their speaking skill. Significance of research. Theoretically, the result of the study could demonstrate the problem-based learning which is implemented in the teaching and learning process of speaking skill, and practically, this study could help students to improve their speaking skill, could provide alternative learning strategy for teacher, and could be a reference to conduct related research for the researcher. Scope of research. This research focused on teaching speaking skill by using the PBL model, and the participants are the 11th grade students of MIPA in MAN 1 Banjarmasin. Definition of key term. Theoretically, speaking is an interactive process of constructing meaning that involves producing and receiving and processing information, while problem-based learning is an approach in which the student to develop metacognitive skill and to expect students in use reasoning ability to solve complex problems. TAN 2003 states that PBL includes the life-wide learning goals of self-directed learning, information meaning skill, collaborative team learning, and reflective and evaluative thinking skill. Chapter 2, Review of Related Literature. This part provides a related theory as a guide of the study to avoid misunderstanding of theory within the study. Concept of speaking. Speaking is the way ideas are conveyed and information are communicated. So, speaking can be interpreted as the process of interaction in producing meaning with oral communication as an activity. Related to student material, for students, it is needed to convey their ideas in the topic of asking and giving opinion. It is contain giving opinion, clarifying information, and persuading information. The function of speaking. In human communication, Brown and Yule 2000 explain that speaking functions are classified into three groups. The first one is talk as interaction. This is about how people convey messages to others. Therefore, they need to use their ability to speak to communicate. The second one is talk as transaction. The emphasis is on conveying the information to allow audience realize clearly and accurately what we want to say. And the third one is talk as performance. Speaking practices in this situation are more based on monologue rather than dialogue. Component of speaking. According to WIF 1982, page 2, there are some speaking components in English as follows. The first one is pronunciation. The most critical factor in establishing communication effectiveness is pronunciation. The listener would have a hard time listening and having an idea of what the speaker means without clear pronunciation. The second one is vocabulary. It is the word that students use to grasp the idea and use of speaking constructively. And the third one is the grammar. It is a set of rules specifying the context ordering of food at the sentence level. And fluency. It is the ability to speak efficiently and comfortably. And last one is comprehension. It is the capacity to comprehend information so that speaker could initiate the conversation and the listener could respond to it. Types of speaking. As stated by Brown, 2004, page 141, the basic types of speaking are divided into 5 categories as follows. The first one is imitative. It is the capability to imitate a word. And intensive, it is the production of shorthands of oral language designed to demonstrate competence. Then responsive, it is include a short conversation like a standard greeting or small talks. And then interactive speaking, it is in the length and complexity of interaction, which sometimes include multiple exchanges or multiple participants. And the last one is extensive. It is like speeches, oral presentation, or so on. Teaching speaking. Teaching speaking is not always easy to do, especially in teaching English foreign learners. Students often face some challenges in comprehending the idea in learning English. To address the issue, Harmer 1998, page 87, state there are 3 fundamental reasons for giving students speaking responsibility. The first one is rehearsal. It is allows the student to have free discussion. Then the second one is feedback. It is giving information about a student performance relative to the goal or the objective of learning. And the last one is judgment. It is the degree of student attention. There is emotional engagement, behavioral engagement, and cognitive engagement. The second part of chapter 2 is describe concept of problem-based learning. According to Baden and Meyer, 2004, problem-based learning is a method in which students improve metacognitive abilities and expect students to solve complex problems using thinking skill. And then Tan 2003 explained that PBL comprises the left-wide learning objectives of self-directed learning, capabilities in knowledge acquisition, reflective and evaluative thinking skill in collaborative team learning. So, in conclusion, PBL is kind of student-centered approach to stimulate students' high-level thinking in situation-oriented to real-world problem. It is including metacognitive and critical thinking to acquire knowledge and concept. Characteristics of problem-based learning. According to Tan 2003, PBL approaches in a curriculum frequently comprise the following characteristics. The first one is problem as the main point. Then the problem is authentic, and in the last of the study or learning, there is a possible solution appear. Then challenge prior knowledge, self-directed learning, and collaborative learning. There is a questioning and cognitive coaching by teacher, and then synthesis and integration of learning. And the last one is evaluate and review learning experience and process. The schema of problem-based learning. According to Tan 2003, the schema of PBL in teaching process as follows. The first one is meeting the problem. Students have to define the problem. They have to interpret the problem occur. Then problem analysis and learning issue. Students have to collect the idea of data and judge the idea. Then making synthesis of the problem. Then discovery and reporting. This is collaborating the idea in group. Then repressing the idea in group. Then solution presentation and reflection. It is about presenting alternative. And then overview, integration and evaluation. It is about how students propose a solution and the evaluation of the study. Teacher roles in problem-based learning. According to Tan 2003, page 43, the theory and practice of the teacher as facilitator role in problem-based learning are follow. The first one is facilitating the PBL process of learning. It is the schemata of problem-based learning as a guide, and then facilitating student for problem solving. It is include the metacognition strategy, then scheming the problem or situation as a controller, and then facilitating the process of obtain information. It is for critical thinking and language acquisition. Student roles in problem-based learning. According to Beden and Mayer 2004, page 83, 10 roles of student in problem-based learning are as follows. The first one is individual roles and responsibility. The student follow the list of individual roles that given any time to assume. The student also have a chance to undertake more than one role at the same time. Then practical real-world problem solver. In this role, student analyze the situation, identifies the main structure of the problem, and cultivates a solution to the problem. And the third one is expert or decision maker. The student analyzes the situation in order to make a variety of decisions. Then self-directed learner. Students have to learn independently to set a learning goal. Then communicator. Students learn to speak effectively and directly to the team and present their idea clearly. Then advocate. Students in PBL terms become supporter in finding a reason for client, defending a stance or a cause of their opinion. Then participator in community of learner. This is to enrich and enhance the meaning way of member to make a meaningful communication. And then scientist of scholar. Student as a problem solver in the producer of knowledge and develop strong background knowledge in order to solve the problem. And then apprentice. Student play a role in observing and applying thought process in certain field or discipline. And last one is explorer. Student engage to find new problem and explore possible solution. Chapter 3, research methodology. Research design. The study is a classroom action research, which is a form of a reflective study conducted by teachers for improving teaching in the classroom. Moreover, this classroom action research is conducted based on the cause of the problem that appears in the classroom. Chemist and McTaggart 1988 model of classroom action research is used to face the problem appears in the classroom. The cycle is planning, acting, and observing, and last is reflection. The action taken is the application of problem-based learning to improve the learning outcomes of students on the topic of asking and giving opinion. Research participants. The subject of this proposed study is the 11th grade student of MIPA 3 in Man 1 Banjarmasin. The class consists of 28 students, 8 males and 20 females. The class is chosen since their interest and achievement of speaking skill in the topic still considered low to moderate, and a range score of students is considered high. On the other hand, they still do not comprehend the substance of material deeply. Research procedure. Planning. Designing a lesson plan and the media needed based on the schemata of the process. Then acting and observing the action. It is the implementation of lesson plan to teach the participant of the researcher. Then reflection. It is evaluating the action done and deciding whether the action is success or fail. Data collection. The study used mixed method data collection technique. The instruments are observation sheet, test, and questionnaire. For observation, the schemata of PBL by Tan 2003 and the student rule of PBL by Beden and Mayer 2004 are used. Then for the test, the rubric score for the test is adapted from Teresa 2001, and for the questionnaire, close-ended questionnaire to find out student perception of PBL learning. Data analysis. In the study, the researcher analyzes the collected data by using descriptive technique and statistical technique. The first thing that researchers should be analyzed is the observation instrument by identifying the action happen in classroom, and then measuring student speaking skill by scoring student achievement based on Teresa rubric score, and then tabulating and comparing the score of before and after the action is stable. If the after score of the mean score of after is higher than before, it means the action is success. And then analyzing the student perception of PBL by reducing student answer in questionnaire, classifying the result of observation, questionnaire, and the comparative test score, then interpreting and displaying the result of data. The line of data analysis is quantitative study, qualitative study, and combine and interpret the result. Quantitative study as higher priority and qualitative study as lower priority. Thank you.